American Tattoo Convention. I'm here with the man who's actually responsible for all of us for being here. And the weekend is shortening up and wish it was longer. And here's the man, and kind of tell us why you bless all of us here today with all the very diverse art that we have.
The tattoo convention is something I've been wanting to do since I got the shop. We went to a lot of shows and had a really good time at every single one of them, and thought that would be really cool if we brought this to Fayetteville, because a lot of people don't know that Fayetteville has a very large and diverse tattoo community.
Yes.
It's a really good artist here, and everyone thinks that you have to go outside of Fayetteville to find good art, and it's not true. So a part of that was to showcase some of the local artists, and another part of that was to showcase some of the great national artists to tattoo our military personnel. Because we give, 90% of our folks are military that come through to get tattooed, and my previous businesses all dealt with government contracting and military in some form or fashion. So growing up here, you kind of get desensitized to the military and the military lifestyle, because it's all you ever know. And you go outside of the area, start traveling, and you really think like, holy cow, like I just don't really feel the impact of military life and things like that, because I'm in it every day.
Yeah.
And so these folks that we would meet when we're out and about, we say, well, we're from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Where the hell is that, right? It's in Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
And then they automatically think, well, it's military and the Army and stuff like that. And we get so much more, respect, clout. Everyone's just excited to talk about the military and this, that, and the other. Like, you guys should come to Fayetteville and tattoo. And the easiest way to do that is for us to put together some sort of show. So we, worked with the health department, the state. They were not the state, but the local was kind of giving us some pushback, because it's a huge endeavor to put out. Because we weren't trying to put on a 50 booth show. I mean, we were trying to bring out the whole expo center, 75,000 square feet, 300 booths, and once we got through the red tape of how are we going to accommodate 300 to 400 tattoo artists in one given place. Once we got past all that, it was pretty smooth sailing. And then we were able to, bring in some folks. We did 25 shows in an 18-month period to try to meet new people and invite folks. And we were going to every major tattoo convention, every major city, and we were begging people to come to Fayetteville. And after we started landing a few very large tattoo artists, more people signed on. And then next thing you know, we have this great event with great artists that are 50 to 80 person wait list every year. So we're blessed in that we've been able to create something where we don't have to worry about who are we going to get to come this year, what do we have to offer them, because they're actually calling us, asking us, can I please be a part of this event? I would love to tattoo the military.
Yeah.
I would love to be there. So
you guys, you're definitely in a big hot spot. I've spoken to a lot of consumers and customers who love coming here. They've come here several years. They're very loyal to their local artists, and one thing they love is that they get to see other artists from other states.
Sure.
And they will, even though they'll get a piece from them, they're still loyal to their local artists. So they still come here and support, prominent to their to their local artists, but still give the other artists a chance and still network and everything else. How many years have you been doing this at the convention?
So this is our third year here. So this is our third show. And I've had the shop for almost 6 years. So
congratulations!
Got into it almost 6 years ago in July, and then a few years back is when we started. It was actually a year and a half before we had our first show. Is when we started planning for the show and started going to other shows and meeting and doing things like that. So.
One quick question, just from the first and the second or third year, obviously it's been bigger and better every single year. Is there anything for the people who come next year, like I am, insights that we know about next year at all?
Yeah, we're actually doing a different VIP. We have a VIP meet and greet every Saturday of the convention. Okay. It's at 10 o'clock, and only the VIPs come and all that. And we're still going to have that next year. We're also going to do a secondary VIP, because we do a lot of work with children of the fallen and different children who have either lost their family members in action, killed in action, things like that, or due to PTSD and other stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to do something for those children, those folks that have passed away. We're going to bring them in, and they get to meet, because not everybody can afford a $65 ticket or to come in and do the VIP thing. But we wanted to, and after speaking with a lot of the TV tattoo artists and some of the major celebrities in the industry, we said we wanted to do something for them, and every one of them was on board. So we have a bigger meet and greet that's going to happen next year. and then we're going to bring in, the nonprofit working with Children of the Fallen and some other folks. We're going to bring in some of those guys, some of those kids, some of those soldiers that and go to the Ramada and go and they can meet. And we'll have food and all that good stuff and drinks, and it'll just be a time for everybody to just kind of relax.
Yeah.
And then, because that's what they're coming here for. They're coming to meet, and hear the stories, and talk to the guys. And this is going to be a way for us to break away from being inside the Crown, being in the structured environment. Let it just kind of be free flowing, and have those kids out, and have them meet some of these guys I see on TV. So that's really the only thing that we have planned outside of what we normally do. We're still going to have the same number of booths. This year we cut down a few booths from last year. We're still going to have the same great artists. We have every year between 25 and 40 TV tattoo artists, Ink Master contestants, Ink Master winners, things like that. So we'll still have the same 25 to 40 number. We'll still have some great artists that travel from, Canada, Brazil, China, places like that.
Nice,
to tattoo.
yeah, nice.
And then we'll still have our great local shops. So.
Oh, I'm definitely excited for next year already. Loving it.
I hate that tomorrow is the last day. I really do. I'm sorry. And I do have one more question. And during all of this, and you being a big part of this industry and whatnot, what is one thing for next year and more years to come? Because I cannot wait for the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. Any for future artists who are watching this now who want to do research about this, because this is just going to grow more and more from Instagram, social media, and of course word of mouth and networking. So about anybody who want to try to get a venue, what can you say to them to anytime contact or any ideas to reach out and come to you?
Do you mean like someone in another city that wants to put on their own show?
Yeah, another city or someone local or even someone who's out of state.
The tattoo convention has pretty much, it's a full-time job, and it's like consumed what we do year-round. And I've been told that it's actually easier to do multiples because you have so much stuff to do throughout the year.
True.
As far as following up with people, permitting. I mean, there's so many different things that you would forget about if you did just put together a very long checklist, talk to other promoters. Every promoter I've talked to was super willing to give me any information I asked. Like, hey, what about, this, that, and the other? And they just said, oh, here's how you do it. And, we sat down with guys like Scotty from Ink and Arms and the Rubinos from the world famous family. And we said, hey, this is what we want to do. And this is what we're going to do. And they would say, hey, that's a great idea, or that's a stupid idea. And they gave me a lot of great feedback out the gate. Sometimes not even knowing us or anything. I just basically walked up to Scotty at Ink and Arms, and we had talked to some different people, and he just helped me out so much. And I know that his show is close to ours, and we promote his show and things like that. And those things help, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everybody in this industry is so humble and so cool. Not everybody, but everyone that, all the promoters and all these other folks, for the most part, you think that just because they're, promoters or they have a great big show or their sponsors are on TV, obviously they must be whatever. No, they're not. Everybody... I mean, I have a lot of people, before they knew that I had a show and I was a promoter and things like that, they were still really nice to me. They were still really cordial. They answered any questions I had. So don't be afraid to go to these shows and walk right up to them and say, I'm thinking about throwing a show in wherever, and this is what I'm wanting to do. And then, I mean, if someone walked up to me and told me, I would give them all the information in the world. Anything they asked me, I would just, help them to get past local roadblocks and permitting and regulations from health departments and city ordinances and things like that. Because all those things have to be overcome with an event of this size. And then if you have to start small, you have to start small and then kind of show them this is what we're going to do. We're not going to burn the place down, and we're not going to. It's not a bunch of drug addicts or whatever like that old stereotypical industry stuff that people just can't shake. And they see what the industry has become and what it's evolved into. And then they see how mainstream it is and how accepted tattooing is, and it kind of changes everything. So don't be afraid to go out and talk to people and show them what you want to, tell them what you want to do and ask. And you don't need permission to do all this stuff. You just go do it. So that's what I guess that's what I would tell them.
Man, thank you. That's one thing a lot of people need to see, is that a lot of people are not blessed with is guidance in any industry. And that's one thing I'm glad that you're doing and that you show to everyone is guidance, especially in this industry. And you see that a lot in this convention. It's the guidance and the positive motive that everyone feeds off each other. They don't even know each other, and they just provide each other guidance just from different parts of where they're from. I'm glad to really see that, and I want to say thank you. And I think Nico actually has a couple questions, and this is actually Nico Boncales from Ink Therapy and OK Pros.
How's it going? I'm actually
Would you
excited
get
to have this
closer?
moment.
Yeah, here, let's switch. Yeah, we can switch.
Oh, we're gonna switch.
Yeah, we're gonna switch.
I hope you have enough time.
Yeah, well, I'm
You're
good.
busy, man.
Yeah, sure.
Well, following up with his last question and where you had, I have other events that I'm actually doing. I focus a lot on charity events. It's been brought up to me since I grew up doing volunteers all the time. It's just innate to me. So I do Wheels Against Hunger, and I was been wanting to ask to see if you would possibly stop by sometime and show face and see what we do over there in Inter. And I know you're a busy man.
Sure.
But actually, I think I actually had asked for your advice from you before my first Wheels Against Hunger. I took your advice heavily. Moved forward with that, and it did exactly what you had said and what we had prophesized and everything. So it turned out well, and we're starting off small with it, but it's progress in comparison to what it was last year. But I'd hope you try to make it out there. But my question was, what are some of your advices on new business owners to move forward with a tattoo just as you have?
Yeah.
And you do big things on your terms, what you do. I kind of just focus on the local and community activities like that. But I don't know if you have any advice for other business owners such as I.
You mean like new shop owners?
Yes.
Okay. So kind of what's lost in this industry is you're either customer centered or art centered, and people think you have to be one or the other. I'm doing this for the art, or I'm doing this for the money, or I'm a sellout, or I'm not a sellout, and you can do both. I mean, some of the guys in this industry that have made it along, some of the biggest names, were also salesmen, and they were also entrepreneurs, and they were about making money, but they were also about the art, and you can do both. So for the people that are pushing to make their business profitable, you have to eat, right? Every tattoo artist loves art. They love to tattoo, but if you quit paying them, they would stop showing up. And if the clients that kept coming in and said, "I want to get tattooed, but I can't pay you," the art can't feed your kids. So it can, but not for free. So you have to get paid for the things that you do, and so make sure that you're valuing your time and your work, and that you're not playing the I don't want to be a sellout type thing, because usually the people that are doing that are the ones that have quit on themselves and are not either feel like they can't, or they don't want to put themselves out there. So don't feel like when you create that business, that tattoo shop, art gallery, whatever it is, so whatever creative endeavor that you go into, don't feel like that just because you're creative, just because you're creating something out of thin air that people are willing to pay for, that you should discount that at all. Because it's the same thing that a builder builds a great, huge, magnificent building. He doesn't say, "Well, I've always wanted to build a magnificent building, so there it is, you can have it." No one does that, and they do that because they love it, and they might offer discounts. Obviously, you want to do something that you like with this and the other, but they have to remember at the end of the day, it's still a business, and you still have to run it like a business. So as long as you're staying true to the art, staying true to who you are as an artist, and you're still treating it the way that you would treat any business, whether you're selling widgets or tattoos or cars or whatever it is, you still have to treat the customer with respect and do that customer service angle, and do what's best by you. As far as I don't think that would work. I don't feel like that would be a long-lasting tattoo. That's not what hold up. All those good things you have to do because that's true to the customer. And then but at the end of the day, sometimes people say I would never do that because it would go against this, that, and the other. Well, okay, but you still have to pay bills. So don't listen to the naysayers and the people that are going to come up and say, oh, well, this guy's selling out because now he's a big corporate shop, or he's trying to be above us, or he's doing Pinterest tattoos or whatever, because Pinterest is just a new flash. Okay, it's the same thing that Sailor Jerry and Ed Hardy and all those guys had hanging on the walls. It's just on the phone now or on the computer screen. Yeah, so treat your creative or your tattoo shop, whatever it is, like a business, and it'll take care of you and it'll take care of the customers. Okay, and that's what tattooing every day, and tattooing something that you want to do in a great environment is how you grow as an artist. Quickly. So, if you're doing that, you're treating people nice when they come in, you got the whole customer service angle, you're trying to get them in the chair, because if they don't get tattooed by you, they're going to get tattooed by somebody else.
True.
No one ever says, "Oh, you want to tattoo me? Okay, well, I guess I won't get tattooed then." No, they're going to go down the street and get tattooed by somebody else.
They have options.
They have a lot of options these days. And I mean, in Fable, there's like 65 shops.
Yeah, I was
in
going to say there's a
Rose.
lot of options.
Yeah, so
Last time there was like 40.
I think that's why it's really cool that, especially with these competitions, they're so friendly, and you get to see all the different shops together, like right beside each other.
Yeah.
So it's not even like it's a friendly judging, where you're kind of like even testing out what you're attracted to with that style, or even what you see. You know what I mean? So like I think that was also really cool, and I completely agree with what you're saying, because you definitely have to be true to you and be completely you, because that will get you a lot further. Trying to pretend or try to impress, in a way that you think it might, impress other people, which they really don't, because no matter what you do, there's somebody not going to like you, no matter what. So I do completely agree that you should always be you, trust yourself, work hard every single day, and move forward. And I completely agree with you 100% on that.
yeah, I mean,
And you do have a lot of great salespeople in here, like a lot of them. And I could definitely, I was in sales for 7 years. I'm like, yeah, I will say the same. I'd said the same thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, which is, you're being honest, but you're just witty. You know what I mean? And I see it, and I'm like, I will get along with that person.
Well, I think, like, I don't know, if you're gonna, when you talk about like sales and all that different stuff, there's so many different business principles that go into anything that you do.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's throwing something big like this, selling a tattoo to a customer, whatever, and when they come in and they start hitting you with stuff, and you say, this is something I really want to do. It's simple, it's the infinity symbol, whatever. There's something to be learned in every single thing. Whether, if you're doing some simple Pinterest stuff, you can always work on your line work. If it's some of these mandalas or something. But let's see if I can stick this thing and make it happen and hold longer or whatever. Like, you can always work on the fundamentals. So, and not everything that you do, you're not gonna like, right? Like I had an old boss who used to tell me, like, ugly cars get sold and ugly guys get married. So
True.
People don't always like what you
True.
like. You know what I mean?
True.
You don't have to like everything.
Working around other artists, I see them and I listen to them, and they never want to do something that they don't do. It's not their style. But it's like, well, you're holding yourself back.
Sure.
And it's like, there's so many skills to be learned on every subject. If you're not learning something and you think that what you're doing now is okay and that you can progress with it, just one subject, then you're just stuck on that subject. Now, that's like 20% of the industry. There's like 5 other ones, and like 80% of different styles and all this, and like all that contributes to progressing in your tattoo skills and performing like portraits. Like I did not ever do portraits until I knew how to do smooth gradients.
Yeah.
And like once I was able and confident to do that, then I was like, okay, I'm ready for that. Now I can move forward into that level of expertise.
Yeah, sure.
But a lot of artists, they don't want to do that. I think it's that they're scared, or that their ego tells them, that's not mine.
Yeah.
That's not what I want to do. What you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, what you get from doing the simple stuff to portraits, there's a progression that happens, and that can only be done with tattooing on a regular basis. And those little small bangers that you're doing, but you're really working on, getting your gradient smooth and stuff like that. That's going to get you into the portraits, and there's no way to get there without actually doing it. So either you're doing the stuff every day that you want to do, and some days you're not tattooing, and you're not growing like you need to, or you're doing the stuff that you don't want to do every once in a while, and you're growing. There's something to be learned with every tattoo that you do. I mean, you can sit down with something you've done 100 times, and you're like, hey, let's make this one better than the last one. Let's see, I don't know, if you've knocked them out, 50 in a row, let's see how quickly I can do this and make it perfect. So you can work on speed, you can work on, there's always room. Yeah, efficiency. There's always room for improvement in everything that you do. And the older, the more the tattoos that you do, the quicker you get, the more money you make, the quicker you get onto the next project, which might be something you want to do. And then as long as you're servicing the customer in a great way the whole way, your business is only going to grow and flourish, and you're going to get better as an artist. So
Wonderful advice. I'm loving it, man. Awesome. I don't want to overburden you. I know you got plenty of other things to do.
I got plenty of questions.
He's gonna keep on going. Like he doesn't
Nah,
stop.
I know
I'm
you're
kind of
busy.
tired, actually.
I know you're a busy person. I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, not just for us, but for everyone who's in this building. Even if they don't come up and thank you, I know that they are thankful because there's a lot of people who love coming here. I see that by walking into the taco stands. They
Kids are
talk
enjoying
about it.
themselves.
Everyone's on Snapchat, Instagram. Little kids are like barely. They take the time to stop playing Fortnite on their game and actual like Snapchat to see what's actually really going on. And I think it's pretty cool. And I see more kids this year than I did last year. And I think that's like baller.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
a few of them mine too. Just
So,
running around
yeah.
crazy.
So if you could tell me, like, you were
starting
talking
them off
about
early.
celebrities earlier, and the thing is, like, a lot of people who don't know much about the tattoo industry, they don't really know who is considered a celebrity. I know I met Jasmine last year, and I had no idea who she was. And then, like, there were people telling me, they're like, oh, she does this and that. I'm like, she seems like a very accomplished person, and just by talking to her, yesterday, very smart, very smart. Her and her sister, very smart, two individual people. But what are some of the other celebrities that some of the people next year can look forward to seeing?
I mean, I don't know. So everyone always gravitates to the folks they see on TV, and those artists are also. I mean, they're very, very great. I mean, the ones that we have coming here, all the Master Contestants and stuff. They all turn out great tattoo work, and they're all good artists. But there's also artists that were never on the show that do amazing work. I mean, we got a girl from Winston-Salem, Art Attack, who came with a couple of folks, great artists. And one girl, Jen Inc., I think is her name on Instagram, because that's how I know everybody on Instagram. I mean, she's booked till September, and she's in Winston-Salem. So it's not really about, it is obviously about the celebrities, but it's about being in a room with a lot of other artists that share the same goals.
Yeah, of
and
course.
things.
Yeah, of course.
And then knowing that these people are rock stars in their towns. I'm just giving you one example, right? There's a guy that came from Colorado our first year that was booked up almost 18 months in advance. So he came to this convention and he had his books wide open for walk-ins. So just imagine this. You're a soldier at Fort Bragg and you come to this convention and you're getting tattooed by a guy who, if you were in Colorado, you have to wait a year and a half to get tattooed by, and now you're able to get tattooed by him. But he wasn't on TV. You'll never know his name. And these guys are just amazing tattoo artists, and you get to see them all in one place. I mean, I think that celebrity as a tattoo, as far as artwork goes, is what you think it is, right? I could paint a picture and you could hang it in a gallery and everybody could walk by and say, wow, that's amazing. But it's just some dude that painted it, right? As long as you're happy with the art that they produce and put on you, then you've already won, right?
It's already matters.
Yeah, like Joey Tattoo says, as long as you're happy with the tattoo that you got, you don't need a plaque to congratulate you for it. It's good for the artist to get it, right? Everyone wants to win awards. But these celebrities and these artists, sometimes they put too much emphasis on the tags when, we got 290, we got 25 this year, so we got right at 300 artists in here that weren't on TV.
I can't tell the difference who was and who was not.
Exactly. You look at some of the
I
work.
just see a lot of great work.
I mean, you look at a guy like Rolly T-Rex who produces amazing work. Great guy, right?
I just find out who he was from the beer contest.
See? He's got a great beard. He's a really good looking dude, too. And his arms are normal size. They're not T-Rex size.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's got that name. But his work is amazing, right? And you go right over on 2 hours over and you got, D-Tower 92 on Instagram. That's his Instagram name, right? David. He produces amazing black and gray work. And was he on TV, right? Like, is this a guy that everyone says, Jen's booked up till September, and some of these other guys 3 or 4 months, and they're traveling all the way around the world just to tattoo here. So, and it's a mix every year. Like maybe they won't be able to come next year, kid's birthday or whatever, so they can't make it, and we put someone else there, and that person's coming from Iowa, and in Iowa they have. They're booked for a very long time, and they just want to come here and be around other artists and grow. And so, I don't always know who's going to come. I know that there's going to be 20 to 25 folks coming. I know that Carl Grace has told us he wants to come back, and Jasmine and Kubo and all these other guys, they want to come back, and they say, I want to do your show every year. But if something comes up and they can't come, there's going to be someone else that comes that is just a great artist in their own right. Maybe does a completely separate style. The first 2 years we had Chris Loretto come. and she wasn't able to make it this year. She had moved and had some other stuff going on. And we were able to get someone else in there. We got a Tabori, Danny Nguyen, who actually took her space whenever she canceled. So Danny was able to come and do Tabori here, and I've been trying to get Tabori here for years, right? And so he's doing.
You had that last time.
I wish. I really tried. I've been trying for the last 2 years. This year we got 2 guys doing it, so it's really cool. Next year we don't know what it'll bring. I know format-wise will change. We had talked about the meet and greet and some other stuff for the children, but for the most part, like these kids that are making a bunch of noise right now, things change. But just know that the quality of artists that we let in here, I mean, we do deny people that sign up for booths who aren't quite ready, because we do want to provide a certain level of art to the folks when they come in. So just know that the 300 plus artists that come here every year are going to be amazing, and you're going to get your own little celebrity, you get a Nico from Sanford, right? You get a Jen from Winston-Salem, and you get a Corey Ryan from Asheboro. These guys are coming in producing award-winning, amazing work, and everyone gets to get tattooed by them. It's one of the great things about coming to a tattoo convention is that there's really not a whole lot of, there's no bad tattoo artists here. There's no bad work, because if there were, we wouldn't let them in. So
Okay.
I know I got really long-winded on that.
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
It's just because a lot of times, like, I'll tell people, like, yeah, we got the convention, like, who's coming? I'm like,
that's a
Carl Grace, right? And they're like, oh, he's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, don't you love his work? He's like, yeah, what season of Ink Master was he on? And I'm like, man, it's not about Ink Master. It's about looking at these guys' work and seeing. So, yeah, we're going to have celebrities. We're going to have the TV guys. But we're also going to have a lot of high-end, amazing artists like Nico and Jen. And, all these
Yeah,
all these
man,
guys.
congratulations to him. First time
definitely.
entering these competitions. And
It's not the first time, but this is my second go around because I didn't know what to expect, the critique from the judges, what they're really judging for.
Yeah.
First year that I was here, I didn't win nothing. I entered like 5 competitions and I didn't succeed, but it didn't stop me from next year. I think it was the shiny flag. I was like, what do I got to do to get one?
Recognition.
That's really nice.
Recognition.
And I planned for a whole year. I got clients in to hey, do you want to work on a project with me to win some awards, something that we can recognize and bring home.
I think every
that year I'm planning, starting from all the ones I've done, is just progress towards sticking with the same plan and just making sure that we execute that in time so that when we're here today, let's go win some awards. We've worked hard. I physically prepared for it, mentally prepared for it, did my methods of to when you have to get something done as best as you can. All the preps that you need to do. And I did them. And the first category, I'm just still kind of just, this just happened.
Yeah. I think what's something we can all agree on that we all experience here, I mean, individually, is that we all gain something from here. That's the thing. I mean, from yesterday to today, and I know from tomorrow that a consumer artist or somebody who's promoting or a clothing line, everyone is gaining when they come here. That's why a lot of people will come out of state to come here, because they know that if they leave their 18 months back, they still gain something from here, and they're not losing anything. That's one thing that we can all agree on. And I do want to say thank you for everything that you've done for us.
Awesome. I really thank you guys. I just thought of something when you said about the awards. The awards will be changing next year. There will be flag awards, but they're going to be a little bit different. So keep your eyes peeled for the awards next year. And thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I know you came out and videoed, in the past and interviewed some folks, but that's what it's all about, man. I want you guys, everyone that's in the art or in the world or appreciates art and tattooing, to come out and just immerse yourself in it, and hopefully explore some, like you were saying earlier. You've seen some things that you like that you didn't even know you liked.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Just jump right in and say, holy cow, look at all this neat, new, cool stuff. It opened my mind up and maybe figure something else out. So, but thank you guys again.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when he told me about it, bro, I came here and it was Tattoo Comic-Con, and I was like, this is the dopest shit. Do you know what I mean? For real. We can edit that part out. I just wanted to say that because I had no idea. I was like, you're in a tattoo convention. This was last year, and I was like, bro, that's dope. And he's like, do you want to go? I was like, yeah.
I had to bring it out from Georgia just to come here today and the weekend.
Yeah, I live in Savannah now, and he told me again during the time when we lost our friend, and he was talking about it. I was like, fuck, bro, I would love to go back. And now I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'm here. And I'm
Like just being here, you get to really enjoy a lot of different stuff.
Because I knew when I got here, I was doing gain a lot. Like
Yeah.
I just knew from the last experience. You know what I mean? I was like, I can only gain more. You know what I mean? So that's like when you're working, the more you work, the more you just get better. You know what I mean? You get everything down pat. So.
I think the kid is calling you over there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Thank you, man. East
Thanks,
Carolina.
Nico.
I used to live 1 mile from the football stadium, and everybody would come to my house, and we would all walk together. It looked like in the neighborhood, and we'd be right there in the stadiums. Pirates. That's a symbol right there.
You know how to do it, bud?
Boom. There you go. There you go. So when you go see that, that's all you have to do. You got thousands of people doing that. Is this your son?
Yeah.